Hi, welcome everyone. This is Chris, and I thank you for stopping by in another fun video. We're going to have a good time tonight. We're going to do some still life items. Let's do an apple, tomato, maybe a jar. Let's just have some fun. Enjoy the carefree nature of watercolor. We can just at any time break out a nice pencil and some paint and a paintbrush and just do a quick, simple practice composition to sharpen our skills. And I think that's a lot of what watercolor and art is just practicing those skills over and over, drawing, seeing things correctly, angles, tonal values, to see how things look as far as light and shade, where the shadows are falling on objects, and the light is being is appearing onto our objects and the shadows as well. When we have a nice strong source of light. Here in this picture, I'll start off with a nice insignia of light. So I have a picture of a small insignia of a light. So this way I know when I'm doing my composition here, the light's going to be coming from this side of the picture, striking this side of the objects, and then the shadows will be on the right hand side. And I think we'll do maybe just a nice simple, maybe an apple. We'll start off with maybe a green apple. Just want to make sure I'm lined up correctly. Okay, and just doing a simple contour drawing here. And we're doing an apple and a jar next to it. A little bit of a shadow shape on the right hand side. And maybe we'll do a tomato here. Stem. Shadow over here. And this shadow line is coming straight across. So I'm just going to draw in the shadow line. Okay, and then I would also maybe do a couple, just some small sketch lines for myself, just to kind of, the idea is the light is coming from this direction. So I'm going to try to make sure the light is where the light is striking its most brightest. I'll just put some in. And this might just help me to be a little more careful and a little bit go through this a little slower when I come over to my areas where there is the light coming from this side, so I can capture those really nice bright sections of maybe, let's say, white paper. We could leave this white paper here where the brightest sections are of the light striking the objects. The apple and the jar and the tomato too will have maybe a small highlight there too. Okay, so we have our contour drawing done pretty much. We can also add in maybe a maybe let's say we're on a, let's say our fruit and our still life here is sitting on a table with a white tablecloth. Maybe the end of the table is about here, so we'll draw on the end of the table, and that makes a nice border for the composition. It gives it a definite line so that we can kind of see that this is a table. And otherwise these objects might look like they're floating. So that'll work really well, the edge of the table, let's say, and then the white tablecloth, and then maybe a little color in the background here, just to give it some added interest. And we'll start painting. Okay, I was just painting about an hour ago, so first thing I do when I go into paint, I take a spritzer bottle and I clean up my palette if I haven't done so already. Give the paints a little spritz. So I'll give the paints a little bit of a, and we got some water on there. You can blot that up. And we just do a nice quick cleanup of our palette all the time. Keep our paints nice and fresh and vibrant. Okay. And we're ready here. We got our paintbrush. I'm using we're ready here. We have our small round brush. This is like a number 6 Kolinsky Sable round brush. Decent point on there. And we'll just go in with some simple colors. Maybe we'll go in with a nice yellow for the green apple. So I'll use some olive green and some cadmium lemon. And here I'm going to try to leave that shadow there. I mean that light. I'm going to try to leave those touches of light on the top. And maybe I'll go with a little cadmium orange and some cerulean blue to give it some interest here on this side, maybe a little change in tonal value. Then we'll go in with some French ultramarine blue, cobalt blue, and a touch of raw sienna. And we'll touch our shadow in quickly. Clean off my brush quick with some water, and I get some more raw sienna. And I make the shadow a little lighter. The further away the shadow is from the object, it tends to be a little lighter. Blot up a little bit of the paint. Okay, now we can go on to our jar, and we'll do a nice, add a little bit of maybe some purple and blue, cobalt blue and mineral violet. That's our blue and purple here. a little darker value here. And maybe some darker tonal value up here. And then maybe we'll go into some of that some of the cadmium orange and cadmium lemon. And as you can see, I'm following that pencil line somewhat. I'm trying to. And a little bit of splashing just to loosen it up a little here. And then to pick up that highlight over here a little better, we'll put some of the background in. Mineral violet and some cobalt blue. And then maybe some cadmium orange. And then just sort of work it out nice and easily here. Fun, free, no big deal. Work it out into the background a little bit. And we'll do some more background here. Same colors, cobalt blue, mineral violet. Maybe I'll go in with some alizarin crimson, just add a little nice touch of red. And I would add this in different areas and make sure I kind of mix it around the painting. I just don't want to add one color in one small area. I think it's important to harmonize the painting, keep everything harmonized so that everything is looking similar throughout the painting. That might be a little bit of a issue sometimes if you're going back in to add colors other places you've been painting in. So you might want to wait till it dries, and then that sometimes can be a problem. I have problems with that occasionally with going into a section that's a little bit wet from another wash. So always be careful where you're painting. Just kind of keep in your mind what's wet and what's dry, and you'll be okay. Okay, we've got another minute left here. Let's zip that tomato in quick. Okay, for variety, I will add some cadmium red, alizarin crimson, a touch of cobalt blue over here on this side for the shadow side, cobalt blue and cobalt blue and raw sienna for the shadow. Okay, that's about it. We'll see you next time. Have fun.